2025, sir. I'm going to go over number 5 with you, which is what you signed back then. You have the right to have a trial by a jury, at which time, or a judge, at which time you can call witnesses to speak for you. You can get an order signed by this court to require those witnesses to come to court. You have the right to see, hear, and question any and all witnesses that are called against you, and you have the right to be a witness for yourself, or you could choose to remain silent. If you chose to remain silent, the prosecutor could not comment on that. In addition to that, you have the right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those rights?
I do.
You understand you're going to be giving them all up and you're not going to be having a trial of any sort?
I do.
You also understand that there's no automatic right to appeal this decision, so in all likelihood, the decision you're making today is going to stick with you.
I do.
And if you were on probation, parole, or bond at the time that you committed this offense, which was on February 7th of 2025, you could be in violation of that probation, parole, or bond. Were you on either of those at the time?
I was not.
All right, thank you. And if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could have immigration consequences, sir. You understand that part?
I do understand.
All right. To the charge of operating while intoxicated, how do you plead?
No contest.
And has anyone promised you anything other than what was placed on the record to get you to plead no contest?
No.
Anyone threaten you in any way, shape, or form?
No.
And you understand what no contest means, sir? It means that you're not going to admit that you committed this offense and you're not going to deny it, but the court's going to treat you as if you're guilty. You understand that?
I do understand.
All right. And the basis for the no contest plea, I believe you said, was potential civil liability, counselor?
That's correct, Your Honor.
I find that that's an appropriate basis for a no contest plea. And there are no objections from the prosecution, correct?
That is correct.
All right. I will attempt to find this
I
report.
just sent that over, Your Honor, so hopefully it gets to you soon.
All right, thank you. All right, I am in receipt of case report number 2500088456 with the date report of February 7th, 2025 at the vicinity of 7986 Bunton Road here in Ypsilanti Township. By Officer Siller, do the parties stipulate to my use of this report to determine the factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
So stipulated.
All right, on that date and time, at the address indicated, Mr. Castro had been speeding after a domestic incident in which he may have been the victim, and is what he alleged. And he spun out of control and ran into a house. He had been drinking at the time of this particular incident. There's extensive damage to the home. The Michigan State Lab report came back with a 0.217 blood alcohol content. I find that there is a factual basis for the plea that's been willingly and knowingly made. Are you satisfied, Mr. Barnett?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Counselor?
Yes, Your Honor. Thanks.
All right. Sentencing in this case, as you probably just heard, I don't have anything before August 27th unless you're requesting an earlier date. I can put it on to Tuesday.
No, Your Honor, any date should be fine. Unfortunately, I do have a conflict on August 27th. That Tuesday should work, or if the following week, whichever is better for the court.
I need that earlier date. I think we have one. If you could place your credentials on the record.
Yes, this is Liliana from Language Life Solutions, ID number 220145.
Thank you. The court will call the case of Ypsilanti Township versus Raul Morales, case number 24T00482.
For the record, Michael Lacey on behalf of the...
One second, Mr. Lacey needs to interpret.
Hola, ese es su intérprete de español. El día de hoy se llamaría el caso de Township Ypsilanti contra el señor Raúl Morales, el número de caso 24400082.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
De parte del Township se encuentra el señor Paul Barnett.
Michael Lacey on behalf of the defendant.
Y también el señor Michael Lacey de parte del acusado.
All right, we're here for a pretrial today. Mr. Morales, please state your name.
Bueno, esta sería una audiencia de provisional. El señor Morales, a favor de decir su nombre completo, por favor.
Raúl Morales.
Raúl Morales.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Your Honor, I did extend an offer to reduce the charge to operating while intoxicated in exchange for a dismissal of the high BAC charge.
Bueno, señor director, hicimos una negociación de ofrecer, de extender o reducir este cargo de lo que es de un cargo de estar operando al estar en estado de intoxicación para que se pueda así desestimar el cargo del nivel de PAC.
That is correct, Your Honor, and my client wishes to accept that offer.
Eso es correcto, señoría, y mi cliente desea aceptar esa oferta.
So it is my understanding that he's pleading to operating while intoxicated and added count 2.
Entonces entiendo de que lo que desea hacer es declararse culpable del cargo de estar operando al estar en estado de intoxicación y de agregar el cargo 2.
That is correct.
Eso es correcto.
Count 1 will be dismissed and
El cargo 1 se estaría desestimando
that's a guilty plea.
y sería una declaración de culpable.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, su señoría.
The charge of operating while intoxicated carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days and or $500 fine plus court costs.
Este cargo de operar al estar en estado de intoxicación, de las penalidades que tendrían, puede ser de hasta 93 días o una multa de hasta $500 más costos del tribunal.
Is that what you want to do, sir?
Señor, ¿eso es lo que usted quiere hacer?
Sí.
Yes.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Por favor de levantar su mano derecha para administrar el juramento.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Usted jura o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar será la verdad completa y nada más que la verdad?
Sí.
Yes.
You can lower your hand. I'm going to go over some rights that you have that you're going to be giving up by entering into this plea.
Puede bajar su mano y voy ahora a dejarle saber o repasar con usted unos derechos a los cuales estaría renunciando al aceptar esta declaración.
You have the right to have a trial by a jury or a judge, at which time you can call witnesses to speak for you, and you can get an order from this court to require that they come to court.
Tiene el derecho de tener un juicio frente a un jurado o frente a un juez en el cual puede llamar a que testigos se presenten a su favor y también poder solicitar alguna orden de parte de la corte para requerir que se presenten a su favor.
You also have the right to see, hear, and question any and all witnesses that are called against you, and the right to testify yourself or choose to remain silent.
También tiene el derecho de poder ver, escuchar y cuestionar a cualquier testigo que se presentara contra usted y también lo eligen testificar usted mismo o de otra manera permanecer en silencio.
If you chose to remain silent, the prosecutor could not comment on that. You also have the right to be presumed innocent.
Él elige si se eligiera permanecer en silencio de parte del fiscal, no puede hacer comentario acerca de eso. Y también
All right, let's talk about that. What we had here was a two-part hearing day in front of Judge Webster featuring Raul Morales and then Christopher Castro. Both hearings had one key thing in common: defendants accepting plea deals, while trying to navigate a whole lot of legal formality with just enough sincerity to carry the day. Let's start with Mr. Morales, who needed the help of a Spanish interpreter, plead guilty to operating while intoxicated in exchange for the dismissal of a high-back charge. It was a textbook plea deal, and Judge Webster walked through it with patience and clarity, pausing to make sure the interpreter could translate properly at every step. It's not flashy courtroom drama, but it's exactly the kind of interaction that shows the system making space for due process and accessibility. Grandstanding, no confusion, just a clean, respectful morals, understood the charge, firmed the plea, under oath, and the court moved forward efficiently. No Christopher hearing was a bit more layer-red, pleaded no contest to operating while intoxicated after an incident in which, according to the police report, spun out and crashed into a house following a domestic situation. Oh, here's where it got because of any courtroom fireworks, but because of how Judge Webster handled it. Castro's blood alcohol level was 0.217, which is quite huge, yet the judge maintained a steady innocence tone throughout. Explained each right he was giving up, confirmed the plea basis was tied to potential civil liability, made sure the defendant understood that pleading no contest means court treats it like a guilty plea. Prosecutor and defense were both competent. The judge's reliance on the police report establish a factual basis well within standard protocol. What stood out here was the human detail in the report, fact that Castro may have been the victim in the original Jadostic incident and still ended up in this legal mess after losing control of the vehicle. It wasn't a justification, just a moment that added some human context. And to her credit, Judge Webster didn't editorialize or lean into that narrative, simply processed the plea by the book, reminded everyone that sentencing would be set and carried on with the docket. Both hearings reflected a courtroom that was and focused on the job. No dramatic arguments, no finger-pointing, just a judge doing her work with diligence and fairness, and defendants trying to take some responsibility and move forward honestly. It's easy to forget how much of court is like this: ordinary people trying to get through an extraordinary system, and when it's handled well, like it was today, it leaves you with a little more faith that the process still works. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell. Me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read everyone.